Hello everyone, I am Vaibhav Bakale. Today we are going to see on the topic Sulphanilamide tragedy and the uh, FDCA Act. So let's talk about the Sulphanilamide tragedy. Sulphanilamide tragedy, which occurred in the United States in 1937. It was a significant event in the history of clinical trial and the drug safety regulation. It involved a medication called sulfanilamide, which was being tested for its effectiveness in treating various bacterial infections. Let's talk about the sulfanilamide. Sulfanilamide was developed as a potential antibiotic and was considered a breakout in the field of medicine due to its ability to combat bacterial infections effectively. Then in 1930 there was no strict regulations or requirements for the safety testing of a new drug before they were marketed. Companies were not obligated to demonstrate the safety of their products. Elixir Sulphanilamide was a pharmaceutical company named SC Massengial Company decided to create a liquid form of a sulphanilamide known as a Elixir Sulphanilamide to make it more palatable and easier for the patients to consume. Uh, uh, in it to dissolve sulfanilamide in the liquid form, the company used diethyl glycol. Diethyl glycol is a toxic and poisonous chemical substance. It is antifreeze. They were not aware of the potential dangers of the diethylene glycol at the time. The company conducted the company conducted a limited clinical trial which show some positive results. However, they did not conduct a toxicity test on the new formulation. After receiving FDA approval for the drug, they began selling elixir sulfanilamide to the public. So tragedy soon after it released reports of the adverse reaction and the death begins too. The tragedy led to significant changes in the drug regulation. The U.S. Congress passed the 1938 Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, which required manufacturer to prove the safety of their drugs before the marketing them. Established the modern system of the drug regulation in the United States. The sulfanilamide tragedy highlighted the need for a rigorous drug testing and government oversight to protect public health. It remains a poignant example of the importance of drug safety and regulation in clinical trial and the pharmaceutical development. So, this is about the sulfanilamide tragedy. Let's talk about the FDCA Act. So the FDCA Act, Federal Food, Drug and Cosmetic Act, is a significant piece of legislation in the United States that governs various aspects of clinical trials and the regulation of drugs and medical devices. So the FDCA Act first passed in 1938. The sulfanilamide tragedy is primarily responsible for the regulating the safety and the efficacy of drug. It empowers the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, means the FDA, to the oversee the development, testing, approval, manufacturing, then marketing of the pharmaceutical. So the FDCA Act grants the FDA authority to regulate and oversee clinical trials conducted in the United States. This includes ensuring that trials are conducted ethically, which inform consent from participants and they adhere to the clinical practice GCP guidelines. Before a new drug can be marketed in the US, it must go through the rigorous regulatory processes. These processes conduct in clinical trial to demonstrate the drug safety and efficacy. Uh, then the FDCA Act also mandates post-market surveillance to monitor the safety and efficacy of the drug and medical devices once they are on the market. Uh, The act regulates the labeling and the advertising of drug and medical devices to ensure that they provide accurate and appropriate information to healthcare providers and the consumers. Uh, the Federal Food Drug Act and Cosmetic Act means the FDCA plays a crucial role in the regulation of the clinical trial by establishing the legal framework for drug development, ensuring safety and efficacy, and granting authority to the FDA to oversee the processes. It sets the standard for how drugs and medical